Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm your host, Attorney Lee Marvin, and I've been practicing immigration law for over a decade, practicing law for over 20 years, and I'm here tonight, like I am every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, to provide immigration updates, answers to questions, and a few announcements about things that are happening in immigration law. So, as always, put your comments and questions in the comment section. Ask questions so I can answer your questions, because there's a lot of really good content that come from people's questions. I can provide updates about things, but if people have specific questions, that's usually a little bit more interesting. So I will say, welcome to all of our friends on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Welcome. Okay. So I will say, post questions here. Okay. So again, welcome to everyone. Again, I'm Attorney Lee Marvin, and tonight's topic, I don't know if you've heard about this. I did a video a week ago about it. I released a video about the announcement that the Biden administration made, kind of a teaser about what's coming up in the future with a pretty big and bold change or update or new process for citizen spouses. So U.S. citizens sponsoring their spouses. Okay. So Biden hasn't released it yet, but he's promised to do it. Well, you know how it is with politicians. Do they promise? Do they say that they're going to do something? Anyway, they announced it because it's hugely important. So, what the future unveiling is going to be is that if you are married to a U.S. citizen, even if you enter the country without authorization, aka illegally, you could potentially still get your green card inside the United States without having to leave. What does that mean? A heck of a lot. It means no need for a waiver. It means no, delay or extended time outside the country. It means you can get your green card while living and working in the United States with your family. Huge, huge, huge announcement. We don't know when that's going to be actually released, but the Biden administration says that that's something that they're cooking up. Okay. I hope it's true because we've got thousands of clients that this could help. I mean, millions potentially, not millions of my clients, but millions of people in the United States that could potentially benefit from it. So, again, ask your questions in the comment section so that we can answer them. I love providing answers and information to my fans and anyone who happens to be watching tonight. Welcome. I did want to post a couple updates from our office. Okay. First, we're doing our another another webinar. We're doing our webinar, and we released that on our social media last week. And here I'm posting it here. Click on this link if you want to be a part of this webinar. Then you need to click the link and you need to ask to get the information to be invited. Okay, this is about fiancé and spouse visas and green cards. So everything you wanted to know about whether the route you need to take is as a fiancé or as the spouse of a U.S. citizen. Okay, so that's what this webinar is going to be about. We did it a couple months ago, and it was basically is backed by popular demand. People really saw value in it. Not everyone ended up moving forward at that time, but they asked, hey, are you going to do this again? Because it was very helpful. So that's what the webinar is going to be about. And it's scheduled for May 15th, which is a Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. We call it Detroit time, okay, because we're in Michigan. But that is going to be in May 15, and we hope that you join. Why wouldn't you? It's free. All you have to do is click on that link I posted and let us know that you're interested, and we will hook you up with how you do that, okay? So again, very interesting announcement from the Biden administration about the spouses of U.S. citizens, okay? So What does that mean other than an amazing opportunity to save money, save time, potentially never having to leave the country while you're out of status? Okay. Well, what it means is your spouse needs to be a US citizen. So if your spouse is hanging out as a legal resident, that's great. It's time to become a citizen. Okay. So you need to move forward with naturalization so that you can provide this amazing benefit for your significant other. Okay. So if you need help with that, you can check out our phone number. You can schedule a consultation to talk about this. Here's the link for that consultation so that I can help you figure out how you do this as quickly and easily as possible. Okay. So don't hesitate, move forward, do what you need to do now so that when Biden does announce that they're actually doing this change to immigration, you're going to be in the front of the line to be able to do it for your family. Okay. So let me real quick look at some of the questions that may be posted on here. Again, please post your questions so I can help you understand immigration law and move forward with your process if you're able to move forward with the process. Okay. Post questions, please. Let's see here. My brother has been deported since 2001. Can he renew the green card? If he was deported, he doesn't have a green card, but it doesn't mean he can't get one. So even if you're deported, it doesn't mean that you're forever ineligible for a green card. As a matter of fact, if this happened in 2001 for this particular fan who's asking the question, that was a very long time ago, and I would venture to say that the chances are phenomenal that the period of time has passed with a punishment that says that you're not able to move forward. So there are punishments when there's deportation, there's a 10-year bar. If there's other violations in your past, there's potentially other bars that are tacked on top of that. If it's been many years, like it has been since 2001, chances are excellent that you will be able to move forward with requesting a green card. You just need to have the family member sponsor to be able to do that. If you don't know what that process entails, you can schedule a consultation to talk to me about it. You can go to my YouTube channel. I have a ton of videos about different aspects of immigration, including sponsorship from family members. So check it out. But the quickest path is to schedule a consultation, okay? Which, once again, here's the link for that, okay? We're happy to provide information to people. All you have to do is ask, okay? Okay, so let me go back to our friends on Instagram. Okay, how long can you stay out of the country at a time on advanced parole? So Bliss, how you doing? So that depends on what period of time they give you for your advanced parole, okay? The government immigration is still very picky about advanced parole. It's amazing that they opened it back up and people can get it, but they hoard that time. They only give a specific amount of time for people to be able to leave and to come back. I've had clients usually around a month, they grant the period of time for people to be able to leave and to come back. So a month is a pretty good amount of time, especially if you have a history that has problems. To be able to leave for a month is a huge benefit. So check it out. If you need help with advanced parole, I do that. So you can reach out to me, you can schedule a consultation, and I would love to help you with advanced parole, okay? So 1 month is a very common amount of time. They can go up to several months. It depends on what your purpose is and what you're really asking for, okay? Let's see. Okay, so question is, what happens if you change your lawyer? What are the consequences? Under immigration law, there's no consequences to changing attorneys, meaning immigration doesn't care. It may delay your process. It may delay the processing. It may cost you more money. It may complicate things a little bit, but immigration does not hold that against people. You can change your attorneys if you can find an attorney that can take on a case after another attorney potentially screwed it up. That's the toughest part, right? If a previous attorney messed something up, most attorneys are not going to want to take it, but it's possible for them to do that, okay? So yes, Monica, my pleasure for the answer. Okay, so let me go to YouTube real quick because I've got questions coming in from YouTube. I don't want to neglect my YouTube fans. So we've got, are there any means to expedite an I-485 and advance parole? So Edna, I get that question a lot since the government kind of threw out there that there's a process called expediting your request. It doesn't really exist in my experience. It's basically something to pacify people so they're not pissed at the government, to be perfectly honest. So more often than not, the way to expedite a case is to file it the right way in the first place. If you do a good filing and the government doesn't have to work too hard, they're going to process it a lot quicker. So that's always been my trick for these different processes, is to do the process right the first time, okay? It is possible, theoretically, the government says if there's a severe medical emergency with the sponsor, then it is possible to expedite it. I've never had one approved, right? I had somebody in a severe car accident. The government, they basically ignored us. So it's not really easy to expedite anything with immigration, not family-based anyway, okay? So let's see here. Let me go over yonder. Okay, I'm getting some questions. Okay, so another question here. What about DACA? So Juan asked, what about DACA? Juan, what do you mean, what about DACA? Provide a little bit more information to that question so I know exactly what you're talking about. Because again, you probably wrote that question after I said something earlier, but I don't remember when you wrote it. So quickly follow up that with a little bit more information, okay? So again, welcome to all of our friends and fans from Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. We've got lots of people on Instagram, as we always do. So thank you so much for joining us. And I see a lot of repeat fans and friends that join us every week. So thank you for that, for your support and for your questions, because I do this for you. After staying in America for a few days, he can apply for citizenship through his family. Okay. So again, is this the one that you're asking about your brother? So again, citizenship, people are confused about citizenship versus legal permanent residency. People say everything's citizenship. It's not. Legal permanent residency is required to become a citizen in this country, okay? You've got to do it for either 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen, or 5 years for everyone else who's a legal permanent resident. So you can't just enter the country and become a citizen. You can't even just enter the country to become a legal permanent resident unless your history allows you. And I say that because all this immigration stuff is so incredibly complicated. There's a lot of weird things that can happen. So that's why I'm posting this consultation link. So whoever's asking this very complicated question can provide information, meaning give me a call so I can talk to you about it. I can guide you through this process. It's worth your time and effort, okay, to do that, okay? Let's go back over to here. How long is VAWA I-360 going to take for approval, considering prima facie and combo card is received in time? So again, VAWA, the prima facie case, it's very similar to a U visa, right? The bona fide determination is what it's called under U visa. Prima facie, combo card stuff. So basically, the government processes these things with all due speed. I think for those processes to be able to get the work authorization, it's going a heck of a lot quicker than it ever has. It probably is 4 to 6 months for certain types of processes. I think VAWA, it takes a little bit longer. The U visa, they made the concerted effort to make it a lot quicker. It used to be about 5 years. Now it's a matter of months. So it is a lot quicker, but everything comes down to the processing times that are listed online. But in my experience, it can be between 3 and 6 months typically, okay? Um, is there any other way to apply, if she could be able to attend her brother's wedding? I'm assuming your help is much appreciated. My pleasure. Any other way to apply she could be able to attend her brother's wedding? So we're talking about somebody coming to the United States to attend a brother's wedding. I mean, tourist visa is the basic way. That's the way that immigration typically expects people to come into the United States for a short period of time. So depending on what country you're from, if you're from Europe or the countries that have the visa waiver program or ESTA, then that is, 90 days. You can come in the United States for a short period of time to visit family, friends, seek medical treatment. Otherwise, you're filing for a tourist visa, which you can stay up to 6 months at a time. That is how the government typically wants people to enter the United States for a short period of time, meaning anything less than legal permanent residency is short period of time according to the government, okay? So it depends on your history, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, it depends on the relationship, depends on all these things, okay? Okay, let me go back over here. Okay, so again, please post your questions. Post your questions because a lot of people wait to the very end, right? They look at the clock and, when I have 3 minutes left, it's when tons of questions come. So I like to repeat myself over and over and over again to get people to ask their questions as soon as possible. Post your questions. Okay, so that's just another reminder. Okay, I see more questions. My wife came legally. We applied for her I-130. It says online they are reviewing the case. Should I wait for their response or can I submit a 485 resident form with the receipt number? Okay. So a question of time, it's always a question of time. When you're allowed to adjust status in the United States, which means you enter legally and you have an approved I-130, you can do it two ways. One, you file everything at the same time. Or two, you file the green card request after you get your I-130 approval. So you cannot file your green card petition until you have that I-130 approval, unless you file it at the same time. Then you can do it, okay? So hopefully that answers your question, okay? So let me see here. I had a question down here. Okay. Okay, so what else do we got here? Well, I wanted to bring up some other questions that I had from people earlier today and the end of last week. So basically the question that motivates most people relates to the wait times, okay? Specifically the waivers. So visa waivers are still taking years, meaning 3 or more years. So a lot of people are saying, what the heck do? I can't wait 3 years. There are any other ways of doing this process where I either, one, don't have to wait as long, or two, I can do a different process so I don't have to deal with the waiver at all? The answer is yes, okay? I had a client ask me today about this, okay? The U visa is one way always around a lot of this wait time business, meaning, heaven forbid, you have a history where you were attacked or harmed by someone and you are eligible for a U visa, you can file for that, okay? So even if you enter the country without authorization, doesn't mean that you cannot do things like a U visa. U visa is specifically for people in that situation, okay? So if you have a history of something being, being attacked or some crime against you, a U visa is always an option. So I highly recommend that you let me know, contact me if you have questions about it. And here's the link to do that, okay? Because there's a lot of people that don't realize they can file for U visa. I had a client that I'm helping out currently that 7 years ago, something happened to her. She went to some other providers in the area asking her, hey, can I qualify for a U visa? No, absolutely not. Well, I don't know why they said that. Maybe they were new to immigration law, but that was not true. You absolutely can file for a U visa. Okay. There might be other things you need to tweak, like some sort of a waiver for other aspects of it. But that is one way to get around having to leave the United States to do your interview. Hugely beneficial. So if you have a U visa, you need to consult with me so I can help you figure out how you apply for it, because not all crimes qualify under the U visa. VAWA is another way to do it, of course. So you need to reach out to me and let me know what your history is so I can help you with that, okay? So again, thank you to all of our friends on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Please post your questions. So yes, I'm getting a request to save this live. Absolutely. All these lives every Monday, we save them and we post them on our YouTube channel. So you guys can access our old Monday night live videos. So thank you for that reminder. So absolutely we can do that for you, okay? So again, I want to tell y'all again that May 15th, I'm going to post this again, May 15th, we are doing our fiancé and spouse green card visa webinar. It's free, and we're doing it again. We did it 2 months ago. We're going to do it again because we had so many people asking us to do it. It's free. Like I said, did I say free? Yes. You got to click on the link and you got to request the information to be invited to it. But I'm going to answer all your questions about the fiancé visa, spouse visa, what it means, what's the best option for you. Check us out May 15th, 12:30 Detroit time for that. It's on a Wednesday, okay? So let's see here. So check that out. Make sure you ask for the invitation. Okay, so again, the other question I got, oh yeah, this was an interesting one. So potential client contacted the office and said, hey, I'm a little concerned about my green card success because my sponsor, significant other, sponsored me, but guess what? I'm not included in any of his social media. I'm not included on any of his financial stuff. We don't do taxes. Is that going to be a problem? Yes. I will say that that is going to be a problem unless you have an abundance of other information that you can use to convince the government that this is not called a sham relationship, sham wedding. Immigration is very strict with this stuff. They make darn sure that a sponsor and the beneficiary are in a what's called a bona fide relationship. So that question was asked, and I had to tell the person, you probably will have trouble. But if you have a history like that and you haven't filed, you need to talk to me because I can do things that will help you succeed. There's a lot of things that can be done if you have somebody with experience who's done it before. So reach out to me and I would love to help you with that, okay? So you clicked on the link and nothing happened. Well, that's odd. So here's what I'll say then. I will say that's weird that it didn't work. We will fix that, but go to our website, which is marvinlawoffice.com, and check it out again tomorrow when we can see if, well, I'm being told right now that it does work. So check it again. And if not, keep checking our website or click the link to schedule a consultation or call our phone number. There's many ways to get a hold of us so we can send you that link. Don't give up because the link apparently works. It might be something with your connection. I don't know if you're overseas. I don't know how it works. I don't know how this internet stuff works. I just know that most of the time it does. And we have people that usually fix things like that for us. So check it out again, okay? Don't give up on us. Okay, so let me see. Any other interesting questions? Guys, questions, please. Let me look to see if I skipped anyone's questions. Is it very important to create a USCIS account? Meh. I don't know. Depends, Maya Jonas. It depends on what sort of process you have, okay? Immigration is really trying to push their government system. In many cases, I think that's a detriment to people because anytime you go to the government for the government to help you with your stuff is a bad day. Okay. So what I'm saying is they try to get people to rely on them for things. Well, they're the ones that are usually creating problems for people. So most of my clients do not create a USCIS account. It can be useful if you want to be obsessive and see if they're posting stuff that they're supposed to be posting. I find very, very little value in the USCIS account. I'm just being honest, okay? So do it if you want to, but I don't see much value in it. Let me go. I'm being told that. Okay, real quick. Okay. Let me go over here first, and I'll come back to that Instagram question. So we've got. Okay. My priority date is April 21st of 2016. Cases was completed 2021 April. How much? Waiting time for the visa bulletin. I'm from Morocco. Okay. I don't have that information in front of me right now. That stuff, I do have videos where I tell you how you can look up that information. Okay. So check out my YouTube channel. If you still have a question after this, I just don't have the time to go up and do the research right now. But if you contact me later, or if you go to YouTube, that video is there. I mean, you contacted me from YouTube. So just do a quick search, okay, about visa bulletin or looking up processing times. I definitely have videos about that. In fact, I think I've done 2 or 3 of those videos in the last few months. Okay. So Eleanor, my I-45 was denied because my spouse withdrew the I-130, but I was told I can appeal or file a motion. Eleanor, that is something that you really need to set up a consultation for because there's a lot going on there, and I'm sorry that is happening to you. It is possible to continue to move forward with something like that, but you need to talk to me so I can ask you the relevant questions so we can figure out how we can do it to help you. Okay. Let's see here. Let's go up. What was that question I was going to get to? Do I have the same rights as an American if my parents are from Egypt and I was born in South Florida? If you were born in the United States of America, you have the same rights as any other person born in the United States of America or somebody who's naturalized. So it doesn't matter where your parents were from. It matters whether you are a U.S. citizen or not, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's South Florida or Iowa. If you are a U.S. citizen, you have the same rights as any other U.S. citizen. Let's see here. So yeah, a lot of weird things happen in immigration law. But most things can be fixed if you have the right relationship and you talk to the right person about it. Okay. So that's why I say set up a consultation with me so I can answer your question. I can help you with some of these complicated immigration processes. Otherwise, you can always check out the YouTube channel for videos that I have there that gives you additional information. There is no substitute for actually scheduling consultation. So click the link and do it. Again, don't forget the fiancé visa, spouse visa webinar. That's the 15th of May at 12:30 Detroit time. So I can help you guys figure out what's the best process for you. If it's fiancé visa or spouse visa, please check us out. Again, every Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Detroit time, is this free live that I do. So Immigration Live with Lee. That's it for tonight. I'm over. Thank you for everyone who joined us. Great questions. Keep them coming. Think of them for next week. You can ask them in advance. That way I'm prepared to handle more questions. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. To all of our friends and fans, have a wonderful night, and we will see you next Monday.